Yay.
There we are, live.
There we are, live. You know what? We're going to do something a little different tonight. We are not going to have all of our fancy coming soon. It's 9 o'clock, and we are going to start tonight's session of AARPG Live. We are happy to be here tonight. I can't imagine anything else that anyone would want to watch more than this show tonight. So,
Or listen to, or read about.
or listen to, read about, or contemplate.
Or fact check.
Yeah.
So we are going
Unlike others,
to,
we approve of fact checking.
Yes, we're going to be enjoying tonight by trying out a new game for us called The Electric State by Free League Publishing. And tonight for our cast, we have Tim, the electrician, and Chris as yet to be identified character. And so we're going to jump right in. Normally, we might have a few more people, but we just have a culmination of personal real life occurrences. So we're going to do, this is the cast of Eat the Reich, right? We're a good core group. Everybody else is slacking. They've got all that real life stuff holding them back.
All their stupid heart surgeries and work travel.
That's right.
Penal implants.
Yep.
I thought we were going to mention Sean.
That's
right. Oh, shit.
He's doing his reduction, his penile reduction surgery. We're talking about.
Oh, right. That's the story.
Yep. So,
reducing the rest of them to make it all in proportion.
Right. They have to just scale it all. No, I have nothing. So I was just going to read a little bit of flavor text. I don't know how familiar folks are with this setting or not. I know the movie is coming out sort of at the end of this month. I think we might try to get out and a few of us go out and watch it and talk about that as part of our sort of post game. But this is a sort of post. I would say it's mid-apocalyptic, so it's not really post-apocalyptic. This is sort of mid to later apocalyptic sort of setting. It's in an alternate future, but set in the 1990s. So I'll read here: torn apart by a second civil war, all but a few Americans find escape in the blissful neuronic network known as the electric state. Outside this virtual paradise, the wrecked hulks of battle drones litter the countryside, heaped together in a loam of trash tech from a consumer society in decline.
I thought you said this was an alternate future.
That's right.
No.
Well, there's not battle hulks everywhere laying around, Yet full of wonder as the virtual world is, real journeys must still be made. This game is about those journeys and those travelers who, for their own reasons, must complete them at any cost. In doing so, they may have to enter the electric state and hope, unlike so many others of their countrymen, they do not become trapped in that paradisal world. And kind of what this means, it's interesting about the game is, like if you play a lot of like D&D Pathfinder thing, it's like, okay, we're going to go to the dungeon, and the dungeon is the adventure, right? You're kind of your destination. Oh, we're going to the temple. We're going to the ancient crypt. But this game's a little bit different in so much that the adventure is kind of getting to the dungeon, right? That's the difference. If you were to completely, just role play the trip from where you started to where you were going, and then kind of when you get there, that just kind of resolves. That's the end of the story. But the real adventure is kind of along the way, and that's kind of what this story is about. It's the journey, not the destination. But there are stops along the way. So that's basically kind of the setting of the game. So what does it mean by sort of a civil war? So in this alternate history, there is, and so this is for folks who've been watching for the movie, this shows you where the movies kind of diverge from the game, is that in this setting, there is in the US, there's a civil war that commences in 1975 and concludes in 1984. And it sort of leaves the United States broken up into these sort of like multiple sort of new mini countries, right? And this, for anyone who's kind of, I think this is very familiar, it's kind of like Shadowrun, right? Where you have the United States is kind of broken up into these new territories. You have like California and Washington is like Pacifica, and there's a few others. Um, and so the war, just basically it just grinds out. People get sick of it. It kind of wraps up in 1984. And this is sort of, the decade later. Um, the other big thing in this is this stuff called neuronics, right? So think of like the Matrix, or just, putting on virtual reality. So starting back in the 1960s, this sort of field of connecting a mind with a machine began to take root. And the original idea behind it was to be able to remotely
LSD.
LSD probably helped them get there, but it was basically to be able to pilot. The concept was, pilot drone, take people out of warfare, or for construction purposes, or places that were difficult to mine. A human could remotely control a drone, which then could go into areas that were toxic, radiated, dangerous, and kind of do these hazardous or dangerous jobs for people, but it's still a person kind of controlling. It's not a robot that's kind of autonomous. And, it's kind of this technology outside, here's this like military application, just like we see in the real, our world with like space applications or military applications falling back into the sort of the commercial world. Once you've created sort of this virtual reality to control machines, it wasn't much of a step for it to become a form of entertainment. And so over the decades, there's been this sort of parallel development in the commercial side for neuronics as a form of entertainment. Simple playing games, eventually being able to travel, these kind of virtual worlds that are out there. But everything's pretty great. It's a great technology. It connects people, but sometime little by little, as the technology got better and better and better, it became more difficult for people sometimes to disconnect from this technology. And it really sort of kind of came to a head in 1996. The Mode 6 software upgrade was released as a major improvement in both the software and the hardware. This changed something in the system. Some even claim it gave life to an AI that started to collect human minds, repurposing individual brains and distributing processes for the mother of all computational machines. And so what you have is people who literally log in. So it's a very useful tool. It's how people access kind of what we would call the internet these days, right? Local or global internet. But more and more, people, and you've all probably been affected negatively or known someone negatively affected, where they just can't log off, or they don't log off. I mean, you hear about this, I guess, in our, even in our, the people who used to play like, video games for like hours and hours and hours straight. Didn't they have someone like, I don't know. Oh, that's like urban legend, right? Someone died playing Worlds of Warcraft way back when, too long, or something like that, or like, or people wouldn't feed their kids, like all these, like, so absorbed, right? But think of that, but it's so realistic, so hyper realistic, that people kind of get lost in it. And then people who get lost in it, if you take them out forcibly, it can create psychosis, make people angry. So this is kind of happening, and more people are tuning in and tuning out the world that they live in. And so this is definitely the boil the frog kind of scenario. This isn't like a sudden thing, but the world is slowly kind of dying.
Soft apocalypse.
Yes, soft, placid apocalypse.
Soft, Sharnian apocalypse.
That's right. So in this particular setting, I know a lot of the book is designed around Pacifica, which is the California setting. This particular adventure is going to take place in a region that was Nevada, and is now what is called the Blackwelt Exclusion Zone. And what was Nevada still sort of is this Blackwell exclusion zone is largely desolate, largely unpopulated. It was at the height of the war before the Civil War of drone manufacturing, but because of that, it was heavily bombed by everybody else. And originally, Nevada had joined with California and other states as part of Pacifica, but when they were attacked, nobody came to help them. And so they're kind of an independent, they dropped out and they're kind of an independent party. But there are still small communities interspersed amongst the desert and the wreckage. And Las Vegas, although hit with a low yield nuke, is still
Which could only serve to
there.
improve Vegas.
Right, it is still there, and it is still known as a place to sort of find anything, get anything, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of and that's basically where it's going to take place. So I don't know if you guys have any quick questions. Otherwise, we're probably going to move into character introduction. Now, the system itself is a D6 system. So if you've played like the Mutant Year Zero games, Alien, Twilight 2000, it is sort of the idea of creating dice pools based on your attributes. And these can be modified by talents and by the equipment that you have. So just like in, I think, all these systems, ones are failures, sixes are successes. And there'll usually be a target number of how many successes you need. Or if it's a contested roll, maybe you're rolling against somebody, you're struggling, fighting each other in hand-to-hand combat, it's contested. And that's basically the dice mechanic. And like many of the other Mutant Year Zeros, there is a pushing mechanic as well. So if you don't get a success, or you don't get the number of successes you need, or you'd like to do better, you can re-roll any dice that are not ones or sixes. This gives you another chance to score successes. However, just like in the other games, there is a potential consequence that if you roll ones on those push dice, you can basically take, instead of stress, you lose hope. So sort of hope is your emotional, hit points, and then you actually have health, like you take physical damage. You use two different colored dice, one dice for your talents, situation, and attribute, and then another color for any equipment you use. Because if you push with equipment, it's the same rules, except that if you roll a 1 on a push with a piece of equipment, it reduces the bonus of that piece of equipment by 1. And if it hits 0, that piece of equipment is considered damaged until you spend a shift repairing it. So that's just the basic mechanics. Super simple. There's not a lot of stats. We'll kind of go through those. So it is very much, if you just listen to us play Eat the Reich, it is very much kind of few statistics, and you basically, when you do something, being creative and saying, hey, I think I can do this because this, or I'm going to try, and if you can justify a particular stat for a particular activity, then that's what you could do. And those 4 attributes are strength, a measure of how tough you are, the ability to take and deliver a beating. It determines things like how long you can go without food and rest, and how easily you can pry open a door. Can you give as good as you get? The next attribute is agility. Again, not surprising. It's how coordinated you are, your motor skills. It's also used for sneaking, balance, shooting a gun, being dexterous. You have your wits. That's kind of, I would call it kind of like your intellect score. It's your intellectual I can't speak. Your intellectual capacity and awareness. It also reflects your prior education, and then you have empathy, which represents your ability to understand other people and persuade, charm, or trick them. So those are the four particular things. So they have alternate methods. So you can roll your attributes, or I prefer the alternate method, which is to distribute 16 points across your 4 attributes. No attribute score can be lower than 2 or higher than 6. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to bring up the character sheet. I know you guys have your character sheets, but so this is what the character sheet looks like. Pretty straightforward. And so if you guys, so do you want to start with attributes, or should we start with the archetypes first? Probably, right?
Yeah, probably start with the
Tim,
archetype first. Tim
All right,
keeps muting himself.
Yeah. The book suggests that you go with the archetype first.
Oh, if I could just read the book. All right,
Yeah.
let me get there.
You want to
you guys
describe the
have
archetypes for
yours.
us?
I would love to describe the archetypes for us. I'd love to read all the archetypes for us. All right. So, yep, I'm going to go through them here.
On
go ahead.
page 50, there's a list of what you have to do to create your character.
Ah, there we go. All right. Well, we're going to start with the archetypes.
Okay.
And so the archetypes, I'll just bring one of them up real quick. All right. So this is the artist. So you get some flavor text, right? So, you tell people it's about the aesthetics, about the translation of life into another more beautiful form. And all the while that's true, the truth is you simply must create. So you get some flavor text. It tells you your key attribute, right? For in this case, it's empathy. Your starting cash. Each person starts out with a talent, which we'll roll for. And there is a list of those talents somewhere. We'll have to get back to it. They're up there. And then you have each character has a dream, a flaw. They roll for what type of neurocaster. That's the big duck-billed thing you wear on your head. And then a personal item. And so let's go through. So there's the artist, a criminal. Sounds very, we all know what that is. A devotee. So that's like someone.
So far, this is reminding me very much of Walking Dead with their archetypes. It
is very similar, right? I mean, this is all sort of different flavor of Mutant Year Zero, right? A doctor, right? I love that the doctor's quote is from Trent Reznor. I hurt myself today to see I still feel. Not sure that's normally the quote you'd see for a doctor, but okay.
You don't know what that doctor's been through.
That's right. Drone pilot. Now, drone pilot's interesting because that's one where you may or may not actually have you're basically playing a person's consciousness inside of a machine. And so like, and here the dream is like, return to my body, create a better world, let go of my human body. This isn't like you're not playing the person controlling a drone. You're like, for something has happened, like they say in here, maybe you were a kid in an incident that left you in a coma. Maybe you were a soldier repurposed into a drone after your body became, as they say, no longer field expedient. So you're basically playing as one of these little critters. An investigator, seen with the sleek, lightweight neurocaster. An outsider. Runaway kid with pocket knife. A scientist. And a veteran, right? So those are the choices. So I don't know if you guys took a look or have had any thoughts on who you'd like to play. I'll start with Tim.
Tim muted himself again, and
which normally we would be thankful for.
That's what I get for this episode. Brought to you by Popcorners. Popcorners for all of your chewing loudly needs. Yeah, I
Somewhere on a plane, Nathan is like a shiver just went through his spine.
putting the popcorners away, shiver boy. Yeah, I want to play the doctor. I like the idea of being helpful but also useful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have a history sometimes of playing doctors, but they're not always
Well,
nice, right? Like,
so-
which one did you play where you were like experimenting on people secretly or whatever? Which
Yeah,
game
that was in Age of Empire, the Star Wars game. Where
Oh, okay, right,
yeah,
right.
I was
You're like
playing
these
I was playing a Ferengi doctor who made every first aid role profitable.
ah.
I mean, like regular doctors.
Yeah, personally profitable. Yeah, so I like the idea of playing the doctor here because one of the things that struck me about the doctor when I was looking at the archetypes was that one of the options here is that you can maybe find a cure for the neurograph addiction, which is something that you haven't talked about yet, but I assume that the people who are engaged in the fake world of the web world, I can't neuro something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neuronics or something like that. Yeah.
Neuronics. That there might be some hope for those people.
Okay.
Yeah. Hope matters in this game, right?
It does. It does. Absolutely matters.
Hence why it's a stat of some sort.
It is. It sure is. All right. So then why don't we go through and let's roll your talent. You got D6.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
Any color D6? That
This doesn't matter, right? This is just you're going to be
5. It's surgeon.
Ooh, okay. Surgeon. So that's your talent, which you can look
Okay.
up. It'll give you bonus dice.
So hold on, let me do this now. So archetype is doctor. Talent is surgeon, not sturgeon. Okay, and then should I roll the other ones like 2d6 for cash?
Yep.
Okay, 400 cash.
Ooh, you're rich.
400. Dream. Let's see what the dream is. 3. Oh, meh. It says heal others and yourself. But I really wanted to do the find a cure for the neurograph addiction.
Well, you know what? Then you can do that because in the rules it says you can roll or pick. If that's really how you see yourself, then you can take that one. Yeah.
All right.
But that's the thing. Same thing, Chris. If you're when you pick your archetype, if there is like something in your head that you really want, or like you feel like fits your character better, you can just go, nope, I'm going to pick that. I'm not going to roll it. All right. What's your flaw?
My flaw.
It'd be
Your
funny
character's
if
flaw.
you
Character.
Flaws. I have many flaws. One flaw: you're haunted by the patients you lost and push new people away. Go away, PCs.
That's right. All right. What kind of neurocaster do you have?
The best one. I don't know. Let's see. 3 is Stimulus TLE Pro.
That sounds pro. Always
Do
sounds
I
good,
just
right?
put that under gear?
Yep. And then you have a
Stimulus.
personal item.
Yeah, anything except for the smokes.
That would
4
be funny.
smokes.
That's hilarious.
6 is surgical instruments. Oh, that makes sense.
I think
Gears,
being a doctor with the smokes is the best.
It doesn't say what kind of doctor, really.
Yeah,
Could be psychology,
I do like
sociology.
You guys remember the Battlestar Galactica 2004 where the Doc Coddle was constantly smoking?
Yes.
I just don't want a pack of smokes as my
There you
personal item. So anyway, surgical instruments is what I rolled on a 6.
Awesome. All right. So Chris, which did you decide which one you wanted?
I'm leaving it to the fates of a D10.
Oh, all right.
So I've numbered them all because I'm not a coward.
You should get an extra cash for that.
Yeah, because I could go badly. Let's see. I have got a 7, which is outsider.
1, 2, 3, 4,
All
5,
right.
I think. Check my numbers.
6, Yeah, outsider it is.
Outsider. Never
So,
fit in. Grade
I mean-
school was a room of little terrors. But that hasn't changed. In
Yeah, I
high
would say
school,
this-
you went your own
I'm
way.
playing me.
You've always been an outsider. Maybe you dress goth. Maybe you don't wear any cultural signifiers of your distance from anyone else. I don't even know what that means. You might work at a night shift at a 7-Eleven, or I know where you work. So you never fit in. There you go. You just don't
Yeah.
fit in.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, there's always these problems. It's never you. You just don't fit in.
Sounds just like me. Okay, this shouldn't be hard.
Cash,
Cash 2d6.
1d6.
Well,
What do you
isn't it
think?
ironic
Oh,
that
it's
the
our
Lego
D6.
that somehow the Lego doesn't fit in? Is it? Are you the one Duplo piece in the Lego
Yeah,
set?
I'm
Is that
the
what
one
it is?
Duplo piece.
in the Lincoln log set.
Yeah.
On 1d6, I rolled a 6, so I get 60
Right.
bucks.
Woohoo! Big cash. Your talent.
I
I
think
can
he,
tell you.
he deserves 61 cash, in my opinion, because he rolled the D10.
Okay, what is my talent? Is d6. I got a 2, lone wolf. Well, this bodes well for the party.
So Lone Wolf's okay, normal. All right, so you can look it up if you want to change it. You can. If it was a larger party, you might want to do it, but that's fine. I think it would actually you might want to keep it. I think it allows you to recover hope, like without having. You'll have to look it up. Yeah, but
Yeah, you can reduce tension on your own without another traveler present. Yeah, buddy. We all went to exactly the same place. Okay, good times. Okay.
You don't need any help. You can take care of yourself.
You can reduce that stress all by yourself. All right.
Done and done.
All right. Your dream.
I think his
That's
dream
between
is
me
to be-
and my hand.
His dream is to be a lone wolf his whole life.
That's right.
Oh, let's see.
The dog is really his god and mentor because his dog can lick himself.
That's right.
I rolled a 2. Find a true friend.
There you go.
Are you going to be my true friend? Doc?
All right. Your flaw.
Let me just write down my flaw. How many dice do I got to roll for this one?
Just 1d6.
Right, are you sure? Let's see. Oh, I'm on brand. That's a 6. If you're told what to do, you always do the opposite.
Nice. I love it. Looking for a true friend. I want to be your friend. No, you don't. No Neurocaster for the outsider. That's interesting. And then you can roll for a personal item.
Come on. Bottle of alcohol. Bottle of alcohol.
Bottle of alcohol it is.
I am playing
love
me.
I would say I love sometimes how the random dice, it's like they mystically wrap around a real life.
I feel like you should have a dog too, just for the heck of it. Somebody's got to show you how to be a lone wolf properly.
That's right. A lone wolf. Oh, okay. So we have our archetypes, right? So given that, so the outsider's key attribute is agility. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know why they have key attributes. Maybe this is something I missed in my read through, because you could be a really strong outsider or be a super smart outsider. It's not like a lot of, some games where you'll have a matching of a stat to a skill, like Dex for stealth. It's not They don't really have that. And so that, it's only critical if you see, like empathy is for the doctor. Well, maybe he's super smart. He wants to find a cure, but he doesn't have empathy. What was that show? House, right?
I
Or
just
whatever.
have bad bedside manner. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so maybe I've missed something in the in the thing, but so we'll just we'll figure that out. I got your dream, your flaw. Sorry, everyone. Well, I am trying to go through this because all right. So all right.
You want to know what's next on the?
Well, I think what's next is you guys apply your stats, your points
Right.
to your attributes.
Done. I did it.
What the
Okay.
fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, you just did his pool distribution?
Yeah, I just did the 16. I distributed them 3,
Yeah, just
4,
do
4,
the 16.
5 for strength, agility, wits, and empathy. 3, 4, 4, 5 because it said empathy was supposed to be my top thing. So
Okay. I'm going the dice.
Oh, all right.
Ooh,
Okay,
look at
so
you.
if you're when you roll the dice, okay, this indicates of course so that we rank these numerically from 2 to 6. To determine your starting attributes, roll 4 dice. Reroll ones until the dice show 2 or higher. Assign the scores to the attributes strength, agility, wits, empathy. Higher is better. If your total starting attribute score is lower than 15, you get an additional starting talent. So, okay, so hold on.
It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so yeah, roll 4d6, reroll ones, and add it all up.
5, 4, 1, 1. So that's an interesting start.
Well, 5, 4, and then you got 1, 1.
Yeah, I got 2 1s. 5, 4, 1, 1 is what I rolled.
5 and 4. So re-roll the 2 1s.
I did, and I got a 6 and a 5.
You
10,
piece of
15, 20. Is that 21? Or 20?
Sean
20.
Sean would have
That's-
done this and rolled all 2s.
All 2s.
That's-
Right.
yeah.
He'd have been
That's-
like Yahtzee.
That is 20. Yes.
All right. So you've got 20 points to distribute.
Now I know.
Oh
I
no,
guessed.
no, he doesn't. He has to
What?
assign those numbers to various things.
No, yeah, I've tried 6, 5, 5, and 4 things.
Yeah, you jerk. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Right.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
But no
That worked
extra
out.
talent for you.
Yeah. On the other hand, again, I'm agile, empathetic, witty, and of medium strength.
What?
All right. So the next is going to be, let's see, I think it's going to be derived.
Ass like the gods.
Ass like the
I'm sorry. What? Yeah.
All right, we're going to do the next are derived stats for health and hope. Health is when you take physical damage. Hope is sort of like your willpower damage. Let's see here. So your starting maximum health equals your strength plus agility divided by 2 rounded up.
So that's the 4 for me. Okay. Got it.
Wait, it's what?
It is
Strength
your
plus agility
strength
divided by
plus
2.
agility divided by 2.
Round
So
up.
that is 5.
Okay.
That
And
was
then
an easy
your
one.
hope, surprisingly, is your wits plus empathy divided by 2 rounded up.
Okay. So that's
Which is also 5.
5 for me. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bliss. Give me
Right. Bliss is so what bliss is that when you are in so just like the old cyberpunk game,
neuroscape.
right? When you go into the neuroscape, if you take like damage or fail, you don't take physical damage, you take bliss. And if the bliss exceeds your hope, you become trapped inside the neuron. You can't get out on your own. And you can't right. Yes. It's just those of us who don't have any real lives. We're the only ones who make it every week. So yeah, so that's what happens. And if you get forcibly removed, you lose all your hope and you get to roll on the mental trauma table. So let's review real quick. We had talents. And so yours was Lone Wolf. You can reduce tension on your own without another traveler present. That's
We're not 12, Matt.
I know I can't every time I read it.
Speak for yourself.
And then surgeon, some serious injuries require surgery to start healing. Surgery requires a wits roll. Oh, so here's one.
They told me empathy was important, and then they did wits.
Well, it's funny about that, right? I was thinking the same thing, right? With surgeon, it's your calmness or your empathy doesn't help you be a good surgeon. You have to know what you're doing. So, so the way injuries work is there are some, right, that cannot be healed without actual surgery. And so those that, and that I believe, so there's gear, right? So there's the personal item that you both rolled, right? That you have. The next thing is your favorite 90s song. So this is a D66. So you're going to roll 2 dice. One's the 10, one the 1. And we'll have your, unless you've got a favorite 90s song that you'd like to just, say, nope, this is mine.
I gotta look. So this matters, huh?
Sure.
I'm rolling the dice.
You would.
25.
42. Love Fool by the Cardigans.
25 is Killing in the Name by Rage Against the Machine. I'm down with it.
Oh, there we go. I know one of those two. I don't think if I know. What's the other one?
Love Fool. Love Fool.
Can you hum it? Do you know it? Just a few seconds. I don't want to get in trouble from YouTube.
Well, just sing it so off key that it'll never be picked up as the
love me, say that you love me, fool me, go on and fool me, love me, pretend that you love me. You're
a teenage girl.
Just say that you need me. So
this
I
is the
cry.
Song that you play when you're doing surgery. This is your go-to surgical song.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay.
Some of those that work forces are the same that hold off.
I'm gonna make an executive decision to change that. I'm gonna change that one to Gangsta's Paradise.
Okay, otherwise I'll make fun of you mercilessly the entire game.
Where do I put my favorite song? Gangsta's Paradise.
Is there a spot? I'm surprised there's not a spot.
It is.
There is. It's right at the top.
Favorite song. It's huge, right?
Yeah, it's literally the third thing on the character sheet.
That's how important it is.
Yeah.
And we will never speak of it again. No, okay. All right. Let's see. So we're gonna skip a couple things that are gonna. So normally in character creation, you'd pick your vehicle and there's shared items. We will get to that, but it's going to be part of sort of how the story unfolds. The next thing is tension. So I know this is one of those things where, because this is going to be a short run, just kind of like when Tim ran The Walking Dead, there are definitely some aspects to the game that probably play out better over a longer story. Tension is one of those, and we're going to try to work it in. But so tension is basically a tension that exists between you and other players, right? I'm
going to try and work the tension out.
Goes to the loner still again. So there are basically 3 kind of levels of tension. No tension, no question marks or unspoken thoughts or feelings. There's suppressed or contained, so things like irritation, love, interest, or other feelings and thoughts. And then uncontained strong emotions such as rage, love, or even fear. These are asymmetrical, so that, you might really love somebody and they don't really know you exist. And then what it suggests is for starting tension, you have a 1 with someone and a 0 with everyone else. But at this point, it's basically a 1 and 1. So, and they have some examples of tension. The way tension works, and this is kind of a weird, interesting mechanic. It'll be interesting if you listen to, I don't know if any of you guys listened to that Electric State podcast that that we did that had Maya ran. I think there are definitely some scenes in there. So the way tension works as a game mechanic is that after you've done a bunch of things and maybe you've been injured or you've failed some roles and you've lost hope, some of your hope, one of the ways you can regain it, some of it's just time. Other ways you can do it is by reducing tension, but you have to increase the tension before you can reduce it. So it's basically like a role-playing opportunity for the player characters to work out the shit between them, right? Like maybe you go somewhere and because someone says something, it picks a fight and then people got hurt or whatever. And maybe on the car ride afterwards, you're like, what the, you kind of have it out, you talk it out, and that reduces the tension and that allows you to repair hope. So it's an interesting mechanic. It's definitely
Bad news is punching doctors in the nuts is my kink. So it does both, increases his tension and decreases mine.
Right.
I'll have you know that your character doesn't even have nuts. Her name is Dot McStuffins.
So here are some.
She has the cutest pigtails.
You guys probably can't. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger here. I don't know if you guys can read this. It's on page 64. But these are some examples.
We're old, not that old.
Right? I got my bifocals on. So you guys don't have to decide right now, but maybe think about, given your sort of your dreams, your flaws, what might be some sort of underlying tension between the two of you. Like I said, it doesn't have to be mutual. It could be, oh, you really like the doctor and the doctor thinks you're super annoying, right? I don't know, whatever it is, you can,
we just have to pick a tension, huh?
Yeah. And the tension level you have with that person. So you might want to write down, it is going to be 1, right? So at the start of the game, you have a tension 1 toward 1 or 2 other travelers and a 0 to the left, up to the rest.
But the only other traveler I know is Chris, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a 1. So you each have a tension 1.
You gotta give me a character name that I can use, Chris.
Oh, Jesus. Not Jesus.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Jesus it is.
Jesus. It's Jesus. No. Son of a bitch.
Sorry. Did I stump you there?
Yes, you did.
Oh, the name?
I had to look
D'Artagnan.
it up.
Now we have your source of tension.
Jesus D'Artagnan.
Now you have your source of tension. Good kid, stupid name.
I don't see any place to put tension on the character sheet.
Yeah, me either. I can't find it. Are you sure it's there?
You're making fun of him, right, Chris? Right? You are.
Is it maybe on the back?
Right?
Yes.
Is it maybe on the front in giant, bold, dark letters? We are looking at the same character sheet, right?
I don't see it anywhere.
Look on the screen.
Oh, Traveler 1. I get it. Sorry. All right.
Under
Traveler
the big word, tension.
D'Artagnan.
Literally, it's in body 1 font.
I hate him for pointing out the obvious.
He's always pointing out the obvious things, right? Okay. All right.
Yep.
Ooh. All right.
Oh shit! The last thing that I
You became a doctor with this brain.
Yeah, you're not sure he's really qualified. You keep saying he's a doctor, but
it's in philosophy.
Right.
Underwater basket weaving.
The last thing that I copied and pasted was a whole bunch of email addresses, so I have to cut through all of them because they all went into the fill field. I hate him for pointing out the obvious.
With a sarcastic tone. In
Do I
true
put a
Chinese
number?
fashion.
I put a number 1 in there. Is that right?
Yeah, 1. Yeah.
1.
Unless you felt, more strongly about it.
Yep.
Sure. You could. Yeah.
I hate him for pointing out the obvious. Jesus,
You guys both put like a level 2 in there. The entire game is just you guys. You're a couple. You're just fighting in a car the whole way. I told you to take a left.
If only we had a map. Couldn't you ask for directions at the rest stop?
Unfortunately, Adobe wants to change my spelling of D'Artagnan to retardation for some reason.
What?
I don't know why.
Oh,
Dart
gosh.
Anon and retardation are my only 2 options for spell checking D'Artagnan.
Oh, okay.
All right, I got to figure out how to spell D'Artagnan. Hold on.
D''ART.
I mean, just
D.
make it up,
Thank
right?
you. D''ART. Oh, that helps.
D'Artagnan.
Yeah, and then it's like the meat. Agnon. Got it.
All right.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's like the meat, he
It's
says.
like the meat. So I gotta check real quick. So there's weapons, but I want to look. So I think we've covered all of the things that we're gonna cover before, and it doesn't really look like, unless you guys saw it and I missed it, like an equipment list. Like there's some weapons.
Yeah. So
Um,
we didn't do bliss, and we didn't do permanent. We didn't do goal, and we didn't do threat.
So
And we didn't do injuries and trauma.
Well, I assume that we'll earn those.
yeah,
We'll
you
earn
don't
those in the
have any-
natural way.
You don't have any of those. And then as
Oh,
far as the
But I'm a child of the
goal-
90s. Yes, I do.
So the
I'm a child of the
goal
80s. Shut
would
up, all of you.
be-
Bliss. Accumulating bliss. Using neuronics causes you to accumulate points of bliss. Each time you fail a dice roll inside the
Yep.
neuroscape, before pushing the roll, your bliss score increases by 1. Pushing the roll carries further risk as it can reduce your current hope. Okay.
Yeah, but you
So
don't
I
have to
guess
worry
bliss
about that
bliss starts at
creation.
0, I guess.
Yeah, that's only when you're in the neuroscape and you fail or you're trying to
Yep.
let's see. So I kind of scroll through here. Yeah, I think for now, so like I said, we're gonna push off a couple of the other things until we get started.
Interesting.
Well, I got to get into
I am
character.
just going to read real quick a little bit about where you guys are from. So the Blackwelt Exclusion Zone was once Nevada, is now mostly desert and ruins. During the Civil War, a major drone company all but ran the state, but most of the infrastructure was eradicated in the most destructive drone bombardments of the entire war. At that time, Nevada was part of the Pacific Congregation, but the fact that none of these other states' air forces aided Nevada during the bombing led the congregation to fall apart. That isn't to say the entire zone is a wasteland. Several communities withstood the bombing and actually thrive, as well as Las Vegas. Never bet against the house, right? According to wild rumor, there are still a number of military underground bases in the desert. A more well-founded rumor holds that several of the zone's towns are involved in an underground market for luxury items. This business takes used or damaged cars, motorbikes, furniture, appliances, and more, restores them to perfect condition. The pieces are then sold at a comparatively low price. Sure, the journey from Pacifica, so this is targeted to most of the games that have come out of California, but those who want something they can't afford, top of the line, they usually go into Nevada to buy it, right? So that's kind of where that's the kind of area that you guys are in. So I think now the only thing I wanted to cover was for like regular stuff, like things you have, it's not really, I'm not going to have people go and buy like because they don't really have like big lists of equipment, right? One thing I did want to cover though, just in case, there is that if somebody wanted a weapon, I would like to probably have that kind of taken care of so that it's on your character sheet. So I'm going to bring up this.
It's fucking Nevada. You can just like go anywhere and trip over a weapon.
Right. So, I mean, it's everything from like unarmed, right? It just basically has a damage rating. Improvised club can be any kind of thing, right? That you've got, right? The bonus is the number of equipment dice that you get to roll in addition to your skill attribute dice. The damage is just flat damage. You either do like 1, 2, 3 points of damage. A minimum range and a maximum range. So clearly all the melee stuff is, hand to hand.
$50 for a baseball bat. This is the Misty Vale prices.
Right. It's definitely not.
Seriously.
Right.
Handgun. Ooh, I can afford a handgun.
But what you can do, Chris, if you don't want to spend all your money on a baseball bat, but you want a baseball bat, is you can get an old baseball bat that gives you a +1 for only $25.
I'm not digging what you're throwing down.
You can get like, those are for like brand, like perfect condition items, right? You can get things at a cheaper price if you're willing to take a hit on the bonus dice.
Clearly, this was made by not Americans.
No.
Well, none of the good guns can be purchased.
$25. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, none of the good stuff can be purchased. All that stuff's got to be found through loot or story. Or...
I will go with the Magnum revolver for 400 cash.
Wow. All right.
Hey, big spender.
Serious weapon. I know.
Yeah, that's everything I have.
That's all your money?
That's all of my money. And I will use my Magnum revolver to acquire new monies.
Okay.
I guess I will spend 50 of my $60 on a baseball bat.
All right. Okay.
How much is a...
I hope the Magnum revolver comes with ammo.
It does. Yes. It does.
How much damage does an empty bottle of liquor do? Is what I want.
I would be probably just like an improvised club.
Yeah.
So +1 and 1. All right. So you might want to go ahead and record those on your character sheet
under gear.
Sure.
Should I just get the regular handgun and save $100? What do you think?
So here's what I would say. You're going on a trip. Now, you could just be terrible, awful people, you robbing, but you have to pay for fuel, food,
all right, fine.
Place to stay.
I will get the regular handgun for slightly less money. So I now have $100 left over.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to keep a few dollars, probably, just in case.
Got it.
Just saying, $10 to $10.
Yep. I now only have 100 in cash, which is still more than you started with. Jesus.
Listen, I didn't have all the nice little comfy growing up supportive parents that some of us had. All right.
Yeah, I went to Stanford Medical, so yeah. You didn't have that.
My
either.
absentee father was a janitor at Stanford Medical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
asshole.
Yeah. He did a great job. We're really proud of him. Where do I put the damage and all that stuff? Is there any spot?
I did it right next to the baseball bat or the weapon.
So I should say bonus to damage to short, medium. Okay.
What works for you?
Whatever's going to help you at the right moment.
GURPS works for me. All right. I have my gun. What else you got? What else you want to do?
No, I think that's it. That's basically all we should be ready to get
Since
started.
I have tension 1, can I just shoot Jesus D'Artagnan?
I don't think that's gonna. I think that's gonna.
My tension is
reduce
now up
the
to 2.
Right. So what we are going to do,
Yes.
is that?
Oh, it looks like Nathan might join us soon.
Really?
Yeah, he said he'll be on in a couple of minutes.
He'll be on in
Oh
a
my
couple of minutes.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
I guess
amazing.
he needs to say hello to Laura before he quickly turns on his machine.
Or Laura's
Right.
already tired of his shit and is sending him down. Nice reference. Warriors come out to play.
See, I always thought that should have been Washington's new team name, and
The
they should have
Washington
played
Warriors?
that. Right, every time they come out on field, they should have played from that movie. That
I was actually
one
all
of the
for it.
greatest improvised lines ever.
You know, one of the ones I preferred
Can
was,
you dig it?
it should have been the Washington Warthogs, because you could have gone with the Hogs, right? That has history with
Yeah.
the team and all that. The Washington Warthogs would have been both alliterative and focused on the team.
And the military appreciation days, they could fly over with A-10s.
Yeah,
Perfect.
There you go.
I love the
Wow,
tie-in,
look at
Chris.
that. Look at that.
Yep.
Love
That's
the
nice.
tie-in. Love the
They
tie-in.
could just drop bacon on
Yep.
just everywhere.
If by bacon you
Um,
mean napalm, and on the you mean what? What?
So I guess if Nathan's gonna, so what I was gonna do is take a short break. But if Nathan is going to be on,
What do you-
Laura, tell Nathan to hurry up.
Yeah,
maybe
seriously.
we'll just do some speed character creation for Nathan.
Is he pooping? I bet he's pooping.
Well, that could be a while.
Sure. Well, he's
So maybe
certainly
he's-
not wiping.
Maybe he's reducing tension somewhere without any of the players.
Laura's right there.
He's in California.
Oh, he's in California.
Ugh. They probably have bidets out there.
Hey, this bidet's here. But Nathan's not allowed to use them.
Calif-
Was that a 90s song? Or was that
Californication?
was that 2000s?
Thought it was a 90s thing, but, you know, I'm old and forgetful.
Yeah. All right. Well,
You were supposed to say, yeah. You're supposed to, no.
Yeah. We're all... Okay. Well, you know what? So I think what we're going to do is we'll see if Nathan hops on, but I think we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to take a short break, let everybody grab a drink, bio break, and when we come back, we're going to start our story. And if Nathan jumps on, I think we could probably find a way to work him in somehow.
Okay.
For the record, Californication was in their 1999 album.
Now Nathan's here.
Just made it.
Well, there
so
goes your
There he
potty
is.
plans.
I'm sensing that Matt needs to pee.
Hey,
No, I just know that it will be if there's another hour. Yes, we're old person bladder. Hey, Nathan.
hi. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Sadly.
I can hear you.
Better than normal.
It sounds great.
All right. How's it going? What did I miss?
Everything.
Yeah, there's some comedy gold going on. We all created our characters all by rolling everything.
Some of us.
Shut up, Matt.
So Nathan, welcome. Where are you at these days? Where are you
I
dialing in
am
from?
in California.
Ooh, he's in Pacifica.
Yeah, I'm
He's
in,
in
I'm
Pacifica,
in
that's
Pacifica.
right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I did read up on the history and stuff while I was here, and
Okay.
so this is seems like a really cool setting. What do you guys, Tim, Chris? What you guys decide to play?
I'm playing a doctor. Chris is playing my love interest. Nathan, do you know what archetype you want to play?
Well, so I don't see a archetype for love interest, so I don't know what Chris is actually playing.
Outsider, of course.
Outsider.
Well, I mean, I rolled for it.
Totally rolled them random. Yep.
Yeah.
So Nathan, did you want to create a character? We kind of been slow rolling character creation, but it is one of those like it literally is like a 5.
It's quick and easy.
Yeah. There's really, it looks like there's nothing to it. So yeah, I was gonna do a criminal if nobody else had a criminal.
Nope.
Yeah. It's all you, man.
Yeah,
Criminal.
so-
Okay. Do you have the? I put the character sheet is pinned in
Yeah,
the.
I have the character sheet. I have the book up already. So
Awesome. Look at him. He showed up with his everything. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a professional.
Do you have dice?
I have fake dice that Tim would love, but
Oh, you've got. Can you make them different colors in the program?
Or using the Google Dice?
I'm just using an app.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just if you roll, if we get Teddy rolling and stuff, one of the things is if you use a piece of equipment to, I know. Hold on, what is this? The other side of the board. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then there's that weird bot that showed up the other day after that. We were done recording the last Tuesday night show, and we were done talking, Malcolm, Sean, and I, and this weird thing showed up, whatever that was, right? And it showed up after the stream was over from Instagram. I don't know what it is. What the heck, right? Well, that's a question that many people ask anytime.
Every Tuesday. Every Tuesday.
And now Thursday, too.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
Yeah, wow. We're really, hi, how you doing?
So we
Nathan,
have a doctor, an outsider, and a criminal.
Yeah,
criminal.
It's
Yeah.
like
All
a
right.
good group.
Yeah, they walk into a bar.
All right.
And I'm sure
so,
we'll have a great reason for why we're all together.
Yeah. So Nathan, okay, you're looking at the criminal archetype.
Yep.
Looks like your key attribute, which we'll come back to, is strength. Cash. Wow. Can you roll 2d6 times 10 for your starting cash?
Criminal makes more than me? Motherfucker.
Well, they're criminal. You're an outsider.
yes.
You just sit around and go, nobody likes me.
All right, so 2D. So do I roll the attributes first or the?
No. Pick your archetype first. We're going to go through the archetype, then you can go
All
and do your attributes.
Okay. Yeah. So all right. So key is strength. Talent. I'm gonna roll a d6 for that. Roll it random. So I rolled a 1. So a knife man.
Ooh.
Sounds like a nice, pleasant thing.
So
to be.
you're playing Kupo so far?
Yeah.
Can we have can I have tension with this character already?
I'm from
You can,
Jersey.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Oh, God, please play Kupo. Just say.
Oh, what are the rules again? I don't know how to play. I can't find my character sheet.
You need more
Oh,
tiramisu.
I mean the character. Okay, all right.
Yes.
All right, so now you want to roll for your dream. D6.
Why am I not hearing anything all of a sudden?
Don't know.
You have to tell us. You're the audio
We
guy.
hear you.
Did the Comfort Inn let you down on the Wi-Fi?
You're muted.
He's messing with his audio interface.
Now it's not. Can you not hear us?
Can you hear this? Can you hear this, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
I would do the same thing, but look at these hands.
Those are hands that are good for a lone wolf.
Yeah, they really are. So much tension is being released with these hands. Also perfect for beers.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like
Why? What were
cozy
you talking
hands.
about?
You betcha.
I don't know
hear
what's
Nathan
best.
still.
That he can't hear us, but I love that we can
I
hear
can hear
him.
you guys again.
Oh, okay.
For
We
some
can hear
reason
you too.
Yeah, for some reason my headphones just stopped working all of a sudden. It was super awesome. All right, so
Your dream.
Same
I think
thing.
your dream is you want working headphones. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, always. But yeah, let's see if I can turn the. Oh, there we go. All right. So what do I do? What do I do next? I've
You
got
roll
my
a
talent.
d6.
Yeah,
for your
roll a
dream.
d6 for your dream.
My dream. All right. D6 for dream is 2.
Make amends for what you've done.
Oh,
yeah,
that doesn't sound like Kupo at all.
I've done terrible things.
It's
With a knife.
terrible. Yeah.
Make amends for who you've done.
Oh, and now you want to roll for a d6 for your neurocaster?
All right. 4.
Wait, yeah. What do I just flaw?
Oh, yeah, I jumped that. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's,
So you
it's
have
the
a
one right in the middle of
jury-rigged-
those two. Yeah.
Right, a jury-rigged neurocaster.
That sounds like me. Yep.
And
What's his
roll
archetype again? I missed that.
Criminal.
Criminal. Right. Okay.
And then roll a d6 for your flaw.
All right. 3.
You always react to threats with violence. No wonder you've got to make amends for what you've done. I'm trying to make amends with my knife.
I'm doing this for you.
I just had this vision in my head of Mike Tyson screaming at the audience, "I will fuck you till you love me."
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
It is Kupo.
Yeah. And for personal items, I just want you to know, you can roll if you'd like. However, given the fact that you're a knife man, it would make sense that you probably own a knife. Or you can.
He's
roll.
trying to make amends with the gun.
I'll knife you with my fists.
He'll have the
If
sharpest
you
knife
rolled a
gun in
5
the
or a
West.
6 and had a dog, he probably just killed it.
Yeah.
Bite me, bitch.
So you can roll for personal item, or you can just pick a knife.
I'll just go with the knife. Yeah, that's easy
All right,
enough.
there you go. All right. All right, since we now have our criminal. So the next thing you're going to want to do, it's going to be your attributes, right? So the way, your talent, you picked a knife. So let's look at that real quick though. Matt would like to be able to know the alphabet. What was it called?
Knife.
Knife man.
Right? That
Yeah,
should
maybe
be a
saying it
K,
slower will
right?
help him.
I know. I am looking for.
It starts with a K.
I know. I'm looking. There's no K. Hold on. What is this thing called?
Inexplicably, it starts with a K.
Right, but there's no K. So what's it really? Knife man. Wait a minute.
It's criminal is the is the
Yeah, but
archetype.
I'm looking at the talents.
The talents.
And am I losing? But there's no K.
Oh yeah.
Nor is there a criminal.
All right. So what I'm gonna do? Looking at like pistolier, you get 2 dice when firing a pistol.
But he doesn't have a-
sniper. You get.
Yeah.
No. I'm trying to look as a. There's not like stabber, right? No one sees like.
Maybe there is.
Blade
Maybe,
fighter. So
Yeah,
let's just
martial artist is just 2 dice for fighting unarmed. So yeah, just 2 dice for.
two
Or
dice.
blade fighter.
Yeah, blade fighter. So
I like
Blade
I like
fighter's
Blade
dra-
fighter. Yeah,
I like
yeah.
drama
So-
drama queen for him. Can we get drama
Drama
queen?
Queen's good.
Queen.
I can add talents later. I can add that in our first real episode.
How about a criminal
Blade fighter.
boatman in the
Blade
middle of a desert?
Right. I like that. So hey, Free League, if you listen to this, you've got a talent that's not in the talents. Probably want to change that to blade.
Is it
fighter.
knife man 2 words?
One
No,
word.
but it doesn't matter. The first one still starts with a K. It doesn't matter what the 2 words are.
Maybe it's man, comma, knife.
No, it's not.
Man knife.
Man
Playing a
knife.
man knife. All right.
All right.
So now
Right.
what do we do?
So attributes,
Getting your-
right? So your 4 attributes: strength, agility, wits, and empathy.
All right. So roll them in a row, right? Or I'll roll them.
You're gonna roll them, all right? Okay.
4, 5, 6. Holy shit.
Tim, do you want to roll yours and take
Nope.
the
And
chance
4.
of 4 twos? Okay, all right.
No, I'm good.
I am awesome. I am awesome man. So I'm gonna put 6 in my strength.
Holy crap!
Come on.
I don't
He's-
need good stats because they need me as a surgeon.
He's one worse than I am.
Yeah, so 6. I'm going to go 6 strength, 5 agility, 4 wits, 4 empathy.
Okay, it's pretty
And
awesome.
then, so health, I add strength and agility, and I divide it by 2. So that would be,
Yep.
So it's 11. Do you round up or round down?
Yes, you round up.
Okay, so 6.
And hope is the wits and empathy divided
So
by 2.
4.
You round it up.
I will.
Right.
I will say at this juncture, Sean, I dare you to make a character in this genre. I dare you.
You
know,
can't
it's
roll
gonna-
below a 2, so
You-
Yeah, yeah.
you're-
there's hope for you.
It's going to be
he's gonna
all
have
2s.
2s across the board.
Let's see. You can roll a D66, so 2-6, for your favorite 90s song.
Or you can just pick. Just pick.
I'm just going to pick. I'm going to
Okay.
say two-headed boy.
Yeah.
Two-headed boy. All right, can you sing a little bit about that?
No.
Love me, love me. Say that you love.
Is that it? Is that the song?
Yeah,
No, that's my song.
That's called. Oh, I must say that's not two-headed boy. It's
I'll play it for you. Hopefully this will give us a,
no, I don't think we can play it. We'll get beaten up,
Oh.
won't we?
yeah, I'll play it later.
All right, that's good. We're gonna
All
get beaten up by YouTube.
Yeah,
I hate him already. I hate
Yeah,
him.
Yeah.
same.
All right, so I hate Tim's character, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
So a level of tension, right? So now that we have 3 people, it's kind of a little bit different. So yeah, you can have a level of 1 tension with both of them, or you could have a level of 1 with one of them and 0 with another. So
I think I have a
it's
level of tension with both of them.
okay, all right.
What's your character's name, and why do I hate him or her?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna be,
Jerky McStabberson.
Jerky mix.
I'm gonna be Todd Bearclaw.
Todd Bearclaw.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You got weirder under pressure than I did.
Yeah.
Don't you remember Bearclaw and Todd?
We,
Yeah.
we,
It's a
we
throwback to like.
yes.
We know exactly.
yeah,
what-
we know where the came from.
All right.
It's a donut, dude. It's just a donut.
Oh, it's a Bearclaw.
All right.
With
And
all
why do I hate him?
Because he's a pretentious douche.
I'm a criminal. What are your characters' names?
Dot McStuffins.
Oh yeah, put him on the. Yeah, you got him on the character thing. Yeah, yeah. Jesus D'Artagnan.
What?
I panicked, okay?
Well,
I asked him what his character's name was. He said Jesus. I said okay. And what's your last name?
so I'm more confused that that sounds like a boy.
Don't judge.
So what?
I'm
What are you
judging.
gonna?
I'm judging.
What are you gonna? I'm playing a female character. Doesn't that count?
He's playing a strong,
Don't
powerful woman.
I count as diversity.
Tim, you will never count as diversity.
Dottie McStuffins.
You're the least diverse.
That's not true. I play domino. I play. I have all kinds of-
No. We can't talk about that. No.
Cut.
But I applaud what you attempted to do with that character. Okay, Nate. So
Yeah.
on your character, because you've got the you have the knife. This sheet right here, or if you want to track, it's on page 81. Has the equipment. You're going to want to record the basic information for the knife. So it's +1. So you'll get to roll an extra die for that piece of equipment.
Okay.
Right. It does 2 damage, and it has a range of engaged. So melee only, which is interesting because you'd think you'd be able to throw it.
Depends on the
Like
knife.
a-
Have you seen
True,
Nathan throw?
true.
All right.
Oh boy. All right. And I think there's one last. They talk about gear. There's trauma. Well, I'm missing something. There's one last thing. I'm trying. Neurocasters. So everyone got. Okay, here we go. So on your character sheet also, except for Chris, who did not get a neurocaster, don't worry about the cost. So this is the stats for the neurocaster. Holy crap. I guess the doctor really did well.
Why?
Because I think, Tim, you got the TLE Pro.
Yes, that's where she spent all her money.
No,
didn't have to.
no,
That just
No, I'm saying that's why she only had $400 left.
So basically, you've got these will add to different types of rolls if you neurocast, right? These will be extra dice that you can use in the thing it says at the bottom for the stimulus go. Sorry, again, 12 years old. It only gives a -1 die to action. So if you are wearing like this hat, right, and you're trying to look for information, you're not lost. You're still there. It's not like you're in a complete trance. And so like if you're doing that and someone goes, "Oh crap, we're getting shot at, you gotta run or you need to go do something," right, or whatever, you could try to do it, but you take a 2 dice penalty on it because it's a big giant thing that kind of obstructs your view. But if you're using the stimulus go, it's only a -1 die. That's why that's listed here. None of you guys have one, but I just wanted to point that out.
Difference between using the HTC Vive and the HoloLens.
Right. So you can still do things. It's not like the Matrix where it's like a thing that plugs in and you just completely, it's only if you accumulate too much bliss that you'll, and see, this is what they kind of look like right here.
Hey-o.
Yeah. So, Dottie McStuffins has the biggest.
We know what's going on there.
I feel like Johnny Jolt suffers from Peyronie's disease.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. This is kind of like the systems for it. All right. So I think that covers everything. We have our tensions. We have our equipment. We have everybody. I was telling Nathan that this game is going to take place not in Pacifica. It's going to take place in the Black Welt exclusion zone, which is what Nevada is now.
Okay.
Which is kind of an independent.
They didn't really
state.
explain in the description of that location what is excluded.
Nope, it's not. It's just
Pacificans.
People who are not from Nevada.
Wasn't it bombed to hell?
It was.
So a lot of it was because it was the site of major drone manufacturing before the Civil War, and so there's probably just like in Germany, save one for Mainz. There's a save one for Nevada, right? So there's a huge manufacturing, and there was
they call it the Pedifactory.
Right, there was a nuke, a small nuke dropped on. Yeah, that's
Not
There was a small yield nuke dropped on Las Vegas, but the city still exists and on the outskirts, and there's still
It had not really changed that much.
right. It's still still.
I already used that joke.
All right.
God damn it.
So we've reached a little more than the midway point. We are going to take a short couple minute break if you want to grab a quick drink, or if you're like me and you're old and you got to run down the hall. And we will be back in a couple of minutes. So
let's talk to Tim about his llamas.
Beep, beep, beep.
Right, the llamas. All right, so
I'm happy to.
those of
Happy
you
to
listening,
talk about llamas.
don't go away. But if there's an opportunity to grab a drink or something like that, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, and bloop. Or not.
Yeah,
You're terrible at this.
I am terrible. I know. Usually Sean runs a lot of this stuff. So,
Are we still live? We're still live, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shush.
live. It doesn't
Let us enjoy
stop
it.
The stream.
Let him enjoy it. Let's talk shit about them and pretend that
unlike
Matt can't
Hoopo-
hear us.
Yeah, and unlike
For the love of God,
Kupo-
the man needs to pee. Let him
Right,
pee.
unlike
Just
Kupo, the microphone
don't
is
take the mic
attached
with
to
you.
me.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
exactly right. There's been multiple occasions.
Mute the microphone.
The comedy never stops here.
Yeah, we're taking a break. Ignore the voices from the deep. Oh man.
Know any show tunes?
Let me see. I wonder if
Have
I
you
can
ever
get
been
us
to a Turkish prison?
Let's get us another copyright strike.
What do you mean another?
It's funny. I was looking through. I was trying to update some of the thumbnails for the sex, drugs, and saving throws,
Mhm.
and this plugin that we have attached to the account looks for content warning strikes, and there's like one that says possible content violation, and it says fuck. It was like, and like that's something that we probably say like 20 times an episode on like every episode, and it's only called out on like one episode. So I thought that was kind of bizarre.
Maybe that was a light episode. They were letting us know that we were being too polite that time.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah, not enough fucks were given.
yes, Laura. We know you can hear us. That's what's making this so charming.
Yeah.
And
I'm just glad I can't hear Matt pooping.
you and me both.
So you want to talk about llamas?
So what's the deal with llamas?
They are awesome.
What do they miss?
They're the
The
furriest.
llama parties. Apparently, Tim had some eyes wide shut parties that not all of us were invited to.
No.
And,
Nathan,
you
you
Nathan
and
was
Laura
there.
came. Yeah, you came to the llama party, didn't you? One of them.
Depends what you're talking about.
Not that I'm going to
Not
admit to
lemon
when we're
party.
still alive.
Llama party.
A party at which we had llamas here at my house.
There may have been some animals. I cannot
You can neither confirm nor deny the presence of.
neither confirm nor deny because we are still live on the air, so I don't want to admit anything.
All right. All right. Laura remembers. They were fun. Llamas are awesome.
What else was there? And they didn't spit at all.
Yeah. Can we go? Can we go? They're not camels, dude.
I
Can we
thought
go
llamas
live?
Spit.
You show our video again, Matt? Now that you've flushed and everything, theoretically,
yeah.
washed your hands. All right, good.
Hey.
Goats.
Nice.
There were goats. There were dwarf goats. Yep,
Oh yeah.
that's true. Laura has a great memory. True, true.
Is dwarf goats the proper term? Or you just
Yeah.
call them little goats?
No, they're dwarf goats.
No.
You've met all of us.
Right. Okay. All right. So I think we've wrapped up our character creation portion of the show. And just to show people the deep, detailed notes that I've had on one sheet of paper, just very much like Sean, like most things written on the back of a napkin. I think without further ado, we'll get started.
Hey, all right.
All right. So welcome to the electric state. As the camera the curtain opens and the camera comes in, we see a vast sort of dry desert, sort of sparse landscape, a single poorly maintained road leading into a valley that once housed a moderate town, but most of it is sort of this area is dried up. But they're at the center of this is in I'm gonna probably say this wrong, Caliente, Nevada, which
Caliente?
is let me see here if I can do.
So caliente means warm. Cayete means shut up.
Cayete.
Cállate la boca.
Cayente, yeah, it's like Cayente.
Cayete, Nevada. Shut up, Nevada. All right.
Shut up, Nevada. So just to bring this up here on the map, it's basically right by this guy doing golf, right? So like Las Vegas is down here, and so it's kind of a small town, and the camera comes in on what used to be the originally was the town's town hall, and then became a motel. So this is the buildings sort of in there. But if you picture this, but instead all of this open area is now surrounded by a huge chain link fence with that sort of like plastic wrap so you can't see through it. But towering above the 8-foot fence are just piles of cars, mountains of old appliances, all manners of technological detritus, old drone parts, everything else just as far around there as you can see. And above the entryway is a large sign that says one man's treasure, right? This huge scrapyard, and there's lights, and inside you can kind of see people moving around and hauling pieces of scrap off of trucks, putting them onto machines, cutting them up, tearing them apart, breaking apart the individual components. And as we sort of zoom in on the one of these like groups, we see, why don't you introduce yourself, Nathan?
All right, so I'm unloading the scrap. Is that what I'm doing?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm a kind of buff guy with black scraggly hair in a nice mullet. I've got a black stonewashed jean jacket with the sleeves cut off, and no shirt underneath. And I am sweating profusely because it is caliente, and just hauling this garbage. I've got a few tattoos of like poorly done tattoos, probably maybe like done in lockup. But yeah, so just dark features, dark hair, and a little unkempt, and I'm just hauling this stuff into wherever I'm being directed to go. Guess I'm trying to earn my keep somehow. I only have like $90 to my name.
You
Richie
are,
McRicherson.
which is pretty good considering the arrangements you have here often keep the money doesn't come easy. And next to you in the current scrap line is Chris. You have the joy of working next to Todd today. So you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, as Jesus D'Artagnan, a surprisingly pale, sort of dirty, mop-haired, skinny kid, not a kid, 20-somethings, dressed up in your typical, like, half punk, half goth sort of mishmash of attire. Not really paying any attention as I worked levers and pushed the buttons that I'm supposed to be doing, mostly ignoring the world around me, lost in my own world. Smash. Giggling as I grind things.
Yeah, Todd, he's not doing a really good job.
No.
You've worked
Doesn't
with him
give a shit.
before. He tends to daydream a lot.
Yeah.
The sun is sweltering, and you guys are working. This place, One Man's Treasure, is owned by Larry, who you guys beneath your breath call Fat Larry, and his wife Matilda Hendricks, and they basically run this scrapyard facility, and like any good reputable facility, you can leave anytime you want and traverse on your own across the 50, 60, 70 miles of empty desert anytime you'd like. But they pay, but like a lot of these places, they give you a salary and then they reduce it for the room and board, for the meals, for the tools. So it is by hook or by crook, by bad circumstances, you have found yourself here kind of trapped, working in this place.
Fucking Larry
with
Musk.
the hope that you want to one day save up enough that you can actually leave, and get out of here, but in the meantime, for all of that, it is a place to sleep. There is hot food, and
It's caliente. Everything is hot.
It is, yes, everything is hot. And as safe as anything can be in this world, it is at least not being out there on your own. So there is some, measure of safety, even if it's not the greatest environment. Larry and his wife are both hard. They demand a lot of work, but they are not, for you to say, they're not cruel. They're not, they don't, they're not torturing
Here's
people.
opportunists.
Yeah, they are just they see their way is to one man's trash is another man's treasure. And so you guys are working on the line, and Todd, you noticed like that Jesus is like, he's handing you stuff, but it's not like he hasn't taken it apart. It's not the next, you're supposed to like pull the wires out, but he's not opening it. He's not unlatching all of it. He's just like handing you stuff. You can clearly see him. He's just kind of like bobbing his head, probably listening to his Walkman or something like that.
Yeah. What's going on? We're supposed to be taking this stuff apart.
Yeah. They don't pay enough to do a good job of it.
You're just making me do more work as I like pull apart and start ripping out the wires and stuff like that. So,
It's called delegation.
like what now you're in charge. Like this is like we're doing this shitty job. It's a shit job. I know it's a shit job. It's not good for either of us. There's no reason for you to give me more work. It doesn't make sense, man. It's just not fair.
Look, I got 2 levers and a button. What do you want me to do?
We should pull your fucking part or whatever.
I take care of that on my own time. Thank you very much.
All right,
whatever,
as
man.
the
Just
two
hand me that
squabble over their work role on the line, the camera sort of pulls back up into the second floor of the building. It is significantly cooler in there. There is a fan in the ceiling. The room is much nicer, and we see a woman standing in the infirmary, and she is looking out the window, kind of watching this exchange occur from her cooler inside room. And can we introduce ourselves?
You're muted.
With the mic on.
The window's closed. Open the window. Open the window. We can't hear you.
Fucking professionals.
So, Dot McStuffins is she's her hair is still in its signature braided headband, but it's a bit messy with small LED powered clips that provide a little dim light in the darkness. Her face has smudges of grease and dirt, showing the wear of fixing things and people in a harsh world. She's traded in her doctor's coat for a patched up reinforced leather jacket with glowing neon circuits running through the seams. Her leggings are torn but reinforced with makeshift armor that she wears, along with sturdy high-tech boots built for navigating the scrapyard. Her accessories include a hacked-together diagnostic scanner that she wears around her neck that maybe in yesteryear would have been a stethoscope. But her diagnostic scanner has a soft blue light able to analyze malfunctioning humans and robots. She carries a toolkit strapped to her belt with that's filled with wires, circuit boards, and IV equipment. And she's basically a souped up version of the Doc McStuffins that we all know and love.
All right, you are watching this exchange out on the line, and
Idiots.
you hear a knock on the open door behind you.
Come on in.
The door opens, and you see Herman, who is just one of the clerical, people who helps with a lot of the bookkeeping. He's kind of a little old man, probably in his 60s. Always wears kind of the same tan suit. It's a little thread worn, and a pair of sneakers. And he's come in with some manila folders, which he hands them to you. And he says, excuse me, doctor, I was just going through the inventory that you asked me to go through. And I just wanted you to know that, we did a really good inventory, and it's all really done, and it's good. There are a few things that we're getting short on, though.
Such as?
Well, we're getting very, very short on. We have some. We're missing not very much in the way of antibiotics, but we're also missing. We're very low on insulin, and I know that we have a few people here at the thing that you administer that to. And so I just wanted you to know, if I'm not sure if you've had a chance to talk to Larry or not, but we're getting kind of low, and we really haven't seen any doctors come through in a while. But just so you know, just we might have some to make some adjustments in treatment.
How many diabetics do we have that we're?
I think there's 2 or 3. There's Betty down in the kitchen.
I don't need to know the names. It's fine.
It was 3. Now it's 2. Yeah. Very sad.
Yeah.
It would just make it harder for me to make the decisions I have to make. How about we put them on an all-protein diet? No sugar for them.
Sure, I could talk to Betty.
Yep.
Okay, and he turns and shuffles off.
I'll yell out the window, "Shut up down there, Jesus, idiot."
I've got 2 levers and a button. Fuck you.
If you find a battery, a Mark IV battery, I need it for my Lammy.
Is that like a sex thing? I ask Todd.
Probably.
Thought so.
She's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Lammy is my surgical assistant. And
ran out of diesel, did you?
No, I need a battery. Find me a battery, Jesus.
I'm looking. Definitely out of diesel.
Slam the window shut.
The day continues in its sort of monotonous way that almost all days go by here at the treasure. And eventually you find yourselves, Todd and Jesus later, in the rec room. The rec room is a best attempt at a place for people to relax. There is a pool table. It's not very level, and it's missing one of the cue balls. One of the balls is missing. There is a foos table. But you guys are always having to look for extra.
It's foos table. There's no ball.
Where there's one ball, and it is like everyone like guards it with their lives.
Same. Come on.
And there are 4 ports. So Neurocasters either work wireless or wired. And one thing that is interesting about the treasure is that because it is out in the middle of nowhere, there is no wireless connection, nor even wired at these 4 wired ports. Is it connected to the larger global, the larger network? It is a local network that only exists for the treasure. And for any who've used it, it has a couple of quirks. One is there's not a whole lot in there. There are some games like virtual pool, if you want to use a pool table with all the pool balls, cards, a few other games. And then there are just some like relaxation programs where there's like, sitting in a hot tub, going skiing. But what is interesting about the system is that it is timed. And when you plug it in, a timer begins, and it only allows people to be plugged in for 1 hour at a time. And then it basically it cuts the connection after giving you a prompt. So you will see a visual prompt. And,
like Nathan said,
part of this. Yeah. So basically it's very, and a lot of this you've found it comes from Matilda, Larry's wife, is very sort of anti Neurocaster. You're not quite sure why. You know that she's come from somewhere. She's not from Nevada. She's mentioned being from like Wisconsin or something like that. She's not a big fan of any of the technology. She's always getting after Larry for even having the connections here at all.
So there's none of those towers anywhere.
There are no towers nearby. Because mostly out here there is nothing. The treasure is a very isolated. Again, part of it is you could leave at any time, but it's trekking 60, 70 miles to the desert in any direction to try to get somewhere.
Yeah, how am I gonna get addicted to using the Neurocaster?
Well, there is, and that seems to be part of the reason why they have it severely limited. There are little Matilda, when you first came on board, that was one of the things that you got was Matilda giving a lecture of the evils of technology and neurocasting and all that stuff. Yep. Jesus, while you're there, you see another one of the workers come in. James, he just like you guys works the line. Everyone kind of shifts jobs, but he kind of comes in with a big satchel, and you hear him call, mail call, and he kind of goes around and he's like, hey, Larry, he just has different. He's like delivering letters, and he's like, hey, Jesus, you got a letter, buddy. And he tosses you a letter and walks out.
Then I see if I can notice any identifying marks of as to who it's from on the outside.
It does. So there is not an address, but it's written on there. It says, to my little brother, Jesus D'Artagnan. This is a letter from your older brother, Pedro.
Pedro D'Artagnan.
Yeah.
I thought Pedro died in the war. I opened the envelope.
So Pedro, right? So you open the letter. As you know, so Pedro is your older brother. Pedro also lived here at the treasure. Both of you were dropped off by your parents
No doubt.
some years ago. Dropped off, not sold at all. Nope, definitely not.
No money changed hands that we know of.
That's right. But you suspect it's possible because things were rough. They
didn't show up in a Buick Riviera, but they left with one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Things had been tough. You don't remember a lot of it because you've been here so long, but you do remember that you basically, all you can remember before coming here was living out of a vehicle and moving all the time. And your folks stopped off here and you guys got showers and something to eat. And the next morning, your folks were not here anymore.
Damn. You got
And
left.
and so you've been here many, many years, and about 2 years ago, your older brother basically disappeared, left you, and you found a note that he said that he couldn't stay here anymore, and that he was going to go make something of himself in Las Vegas. He was going to go work in one of the big fancy hotels or something like that. When he saved up enough money, he would he'd come get you. The letter, however, states that he has not been successful, that he's really low on money, he needs help, and he wants to come back to the treasure. He says that it's the world's, Vegas is terrible, people are awful, it's dangerous, and I just want to come home, and you're where my home is. Can you come? Maybe Larry or someone can come get me.
So needy, that one.
Mm-hmm.
I just toss the letter aside on the table and just walk off in a huff out into the junk piles.
I'm gonna go read it.
All right, yeah, you go through, you see the letter.
Yeah.
So
I'm
he's
not so fond of boundaries or propriety. So, I'll go read the letter. It's like, okay.
I'm sorry, and the last part of the letter said that he is to come get him. He's been working at a diner just outside of Vegas. It's easy. You just take the highway and look for the spaceship.
So Matt, as a player, if we ignore this thread, does this throw off your whole scenario?
Yeah. So this is called this is called the goal or whatever, right? So you have to. So part of this is I have to establish the goals, right? So normally, I suppose you could sit and work them out, right? Before you're going to do it. So this is sort of so the goals that will motivate players to take a journey, right? So I've got to kind of introduce.
But then some asshole rolled lone wolf.
Right.
So I was just reading about the game. There's a lot of stuff about where you as the GM or whatever are generating stops for us to stop at along the way. So
yes,
I think this really kind of falls neatly within your realm of
yes, Nathan, you'd be happy to know that this is a very structured system. It's structured, but it's it's that hybrid, right, where there is kind of because it is a journey, right? There's a structure to the journey, but there's not a lot of structure there's challenges, right, or threats in this game, right? There's threats, and some of it also can be decided. If you want to sit around and just decide it as a group, you can decide it, or it can come out sort of in the opening, sort of, and that's kind of what we're doing here.
So, folks watching this, we do like to discuss the game sometimes as we're playing it. So, I hope this doesn't take you out of the immersion too much. But
this is all stuff that would normally be edited when we.
None of them are immersed. They're all.
I've lost interest.
At best, they're
Yeah.
dipping their toes in. There's no immersion happening here.
There might have been a disdainful ew.
Right.
all right.
Okay. All right. So
Back in.
yes. All right. So that's back in. All right. So all right. Jesus kind of throws a letter, walks out of the break room, and
Storms out.
Out, and Todd picks it up and begins reading it.
I'll pass it. Hey, anybody else want to read this?
They'll pass it around. People don't get mail very often. They want to hear anything.
Yeah.
Oh damn, we thought Pedro was dead. We
Steve,
were sure
can you read?
But yeah, so that's basically, so you go storming out into the yard, and your brother, you remember him as someone who always took care of you, was there when your parents
Until he
gone,
left.
until he abandoned you. That's right.
Yeah.
Left you behind to chase his frivolous, dreams or whatever they were to leave. But yeah, all under the pretense of it was too dangerous to take you with him.
Just so he could be a man whore in Vegas.
That's right. And so kind of the afternoon goes on, and we find ourselves in the hallways up by the administration. And we find Todd, sort of walking, sort of cutting through back to his living quarters. He's had dinner. Everyone's had meal time, and he's coming back. You're looking for, a little bit of rest before another great day of working on the line, hopefully not getting assigned with Jesus again. And you are passing by one of the offices, and you hear Larry seems to be having a conversation with somebody. And you pause as you hear him say, oh yeah, I think that guy's here. Sure. A big tall guy, right? Kind of has some tattoos. Yeah. I mean, we got a guy who kind of fits that description. Officer Ray. You think he's some kind of trouble? Look, he does a lot of good work here for me. Is this something maybe we could overlook? What do you mean? What? Really? Jesus Christ. What a goddamn animal. Well, look, far be it from me to have, any problem with the law. So, yeah, just be subtle. Don't come up here with all your lights on or anything and spook all my people. There's probably a lot of other people not wanting to mess with law enforcement. But, yeah, Jesus, can't have a monster like that in here. Holy crap. Holy shit. And,
Surprised he was talking about Dottie.
And, he kind of hangs up or whatever, and he's like, Jesus Christ. Like, hey, Bob, just do me a favor. Tomorrow, make sure you put that bear claw guy on the wire bin. We'll make sure I know where he's at tomorrow. And then the guys go, okay, sure, boss. Just like whatever. You kind of hear this, and you are well aware that people are looking for you.
All right. Are there like do people have vehicles here besides?
So there are at least 2 vehicles that you know of, plus others in various states of cannibal repair, but they are all locked up in a sort of a vehicle bay that has alarms. It's locked, it's physically locked, but it's locked by a electric lock, a coded lock that you would have to access through the Neuroscape. And the access point for that is in Larry's office, because everything's on a local network. Right. And you assume it's a different network than what's in the break room. But yeah, it's the only vehicles that are there. So with that information, you've heard this conversation, you're walking back, and you kind of come around a corner and bump into Jesus, who seems to be lost in thought, mumbling, listening to his Walkman, and you guys going to run into each other in the hallway.
Oh, hey, what are you up to?
Just looking for something to do that's not this place.
Are you going to go get your brother?
I don't know if I'm going to get my brother. He didn't do much for me, but it ain't here.
Yeah, well, if you're thinking you need some company, I know we don't always see eye to eye, but I was thinking of checking out Las Vegas myself. I'm coming from Pacifica. I haven't been out to Las Vegas yet, and yeah. So if you wanted to head out there, I'm sure we could borrow a vehicle or something.
I'm game if you got a plan for it.
Well, I don't know. You think? Yeah, let's see what we can do. I don't know. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna pack up some stuff, and maybe we can ditch out early in the morning, and don't tell that Dottie. I think she's a little weird. So
Kind of a bitch. Not gonna lie.
All right, so you guys kind of go head back towards your rooms, and the camera kind of watches them walk down the hallway. And at first, Todd turns to the left and goes into his little barracks room, and a few, a little further down, Jesus turns to the right, goes into the room, and the camera slowly goes around the corner where they were standing, and you see Dr. Dottie McStuffin standing in the hall, sort of both having heard this conversation that the two are having. And it runs through your mind that while you've been, this place has offered an opportunity for you to practice medicine, because the fact that the neurocaster system here is completely limited, that you have no subjects, no chance to work on your true passion, to try to figure out a way to help people off of their neurograph addiction. However, you can't think of a better place than Vegas in your mind as a place where surely you'll be able to encounter the kind of patients that you deserve.
Yeah, that's true. How are these idiots going to make their way across the desert without me is my question.
They're going to try to steal a vehicle. The only way to get in there is through a neuroscape, and you have a very nice neuroscape.
Yeah.
Or neurocaster, sorry.
Yeah, neurocaster. Who runs this joint again?
Larry.
So Larry and Matilda Hendricks. So basically what is, right, so Fat Larry and his wife Matilda run this place, and and it's not, like I said, it's not a fortress. There, all of you take turn as security, right? So the people who walk around at night on the inside of the perimeter with flashlights. It's not like he's got, there's no heavily armed, there's no guard force. A lot of what has helped them is the fact that it's so isolated. This is such a harsh environment. The only person that you do know of who's consistently on at night, and of course, this is where I have to look at my piece of paper.
It's Dave, the night watchman.
Thank you. We're just going to go with that. I had a different name, but it's Dave. Dave, the night watchman, is another elderly gentleman who must have been a bellhop or something somewhere, because his Knighton's uniform looks to be like some old bellhop uniform that he's been wearing probably forever. The buttons are wearing, the stuff, and he's an old kind of geezer guy, but he just kind of sleeps all day, and he shuffles around and walks around all night. So you do know he's the night watchman, and all the other people on duty report to him. So he'll be the one that you'll have to try to avoid. You'll have to gain access to Larry's office. You'll have to gain access to the neurosphere to disable the alarms and open the garage doors, and then you can get a vehicle in theory.
Okay. So do I go the straight route, or do I go the criminal route? I guess in this particular case, I'm going to try to split the difference and do both.
Okay.
So what I'm going to say is, okay, Darcy is dark. Let me just say that right now.
What's so funny? My stupid mouse. You know what? I wonder why no one's been chatting. It's because I have the stupid scroll. Oh my gosh, I'm such a moron. I've had the scroll bar up and it doesn't like feed.
We
I'm like,
understand you're old.
Yeah.
Nobody's been like really.
Matt, just shh. We'll program your VCR later. It'll be okay.
I know. What?
12.
Yes.
Just put it on channel 3. Just put it on channel 3. Okay. So
Oh
I'm going
my
to go to
gosh.
I'm going to go to Larry, not Dave, and I'm going to tell Larry that I heard about a couple of our scrappers who are interested in making a side trip to Vegas, and I think they're probably planning on stealing a ride from you. But here's the deal: what I'd like to do,
Such a bitch. Didn't I tell you?
what I'd like to do instead, Larry, is turn this to your benefit and maybe do a run to Vegas, gather some things that we need, including some insulin for folks like Betty, and we can let them think that they stole a ride, but the reality is that you're going to get what you need out of this venture of ours. They're going to be very interested in getting me to Vegas because they have their own whatever goals associated with getting to Vegas. But in reality, I think you and your wife need real hard medicine, real world stuff that I can supply if I'm able to get there and do some bartering for you. So are you down with letting them think that they stole something from you?
I'm.
What do I got to roll to convince him of this? I mean,
You can make a empathy roll. I'm assuming. Well, you're not. So you're trying to trick him, right?
No.
Or are you not?
No, I'm not. I'm
telling him the truth. Then you're.
I'm
you don't have to roll
actually.
anything.
Yeah, I'm telling him the truth. I think this is in his best interest to send me along with them. Let them think that they've got. I mean, otherwise, in order to get the supplies that we need, he'd have to send somebody out with me anyway, in a vehicle anyway, or he's going to let 3 people die from lack of insulin. So that's the choice he has to make. I mean, he sends me out. These are obviously motivated people who can get me to Vegas.
So you're telling me that some of the people here are going to steal one of my trucks?
Well, they were thinking about it. I don't know that they would.
Who's going to steal my trucks?
It's not important. The important thing is they haven't yet, so you can't really, hold it against them, something that they haven't done yet.
But they're planning on doing it.
No, I don't know that I wouldn't go so far as to say that they have the mind.
I put food on tables. I put bed under head.
I'm with you, Larry.
Thanks I get.
I'm with
They
you.
put the bed on their head. That's why we want to leave.
But the thing is that these people are a few watts short of a light bulb. So
A wits of 5.
What are you talking about? Like, are you gonna take I can't just give you the truck. What do you think these guys are gonna bring it back? There's 2. Right?
I'll bring it back. You have to trust me to bring it back. What my goal is, and you know this about me, Larry. What my goal is to make sure that people like Betty don't die from lack of insulin.
He kind of looks. He's like,
Let's talk to your wife about it. Right? She's
Look,
your moral
Doc.
compass, right?
Look, Doc. I know your heart's in the right place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I really need to know who's trying to steal my truck. And to be honest, I don't give a shit about Betty. Right?
Well, it wasn't
I
just Betty. It was Betty, and it was John, and it was Michael.
Like, drugs are expensive. Labor's cheap. Right? You just string them along until they can't work anymore, and I'll get some more people.
It's maybe the very
That's your
first
job, Doc.
instance
Just keep them on the line until they can't work anymore, and then you bury them.
This may be the first instance of a GM stepping on his own storyline.
Yeah. I know.
Let's keep him here. Fuck those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see how Matt handles this. Okay, Larry. Good deal.
All right. So
we'll see how Matt handles this now.
you got that right? So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get back to work.
Yeah.
And, I'd really like to know the name of those two assholes who want to steal my truck. You know what I'm saying?
Afraid I can't do that.
Well, then just get the hell out of my office, Doc. Get back to work.
Okay, will do.
And he shuts the, he slams the door. You hear, steal my truck, God damn it. Fucking ingrates.
Finn. No.
Hey, Matt, I'd like for the record to show I tried to move your plot forward.
I'm still good. It's.
Oh, okay. I know. I hear you.
All right, so desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess.
Yeah, guess so.
Yeah, it is. The scene switches. We find ourselves. It's late. It's
around
curfew.
Around 4:30, 5 a.m., something like that. I'm gonna go and finish up my night's rest in the back of the truck.
Back of
Just
what
with
truck?
The back of the truck.
You can't get to the truck.
I can if I neurocast my way through it.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah.
Yes, you'd have to break into his office, sneak past
so
the nightman.
Okay. All right. No problem. Got it. Let me do it.
Okay.
How do I roll those things?
All right. So, all right. Hold off on that. So we look. I am the master of the railroad. All right. So perfect. So you are frustrated. Your intention. These idiots are going to steal it. Your goal is to basically be in there. All right. So it is late. It is after curfew, and we find Todd and Jesus are basically in a small utility closet, hiding there together, waiting for things to get quiet. They hear basically the.
This is my closet. I'm reducing tension in here.
And you catch him reducing tension.
Show us your hand, Canyon. Show us your hand. Oh yeah, you definitely releasing tension.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. And we find it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So we find we're gonna wrap this up and we'll move. So we find Todd and Jesus kind of cramped in together in this small utility closet, sort of the little bells, whatever goes off that basically says that it's nighttime, it's lockdown time. You wait a couple minutes and you realize this is the time, now or never.
All right.
So I'm going to put this sack over the Dave the Night Watchman's head, and then we're going to beat him into unconsciousness, right?
The old ancient man.
Yeah,
Dave.
fuck that guy. He's a dick.
Dave.
So if you
Fucking
want
Dave.
to try to remove him from the equation, you'll have to sneak up on him, right?
Yeah.
And so that is an agility roll.
Okay.
Excellent. So I get my skill and dice.
Yes.
We don't have skills in this game. We just have dice.
Attributes.
I mean, I roll.
And I don't think you have a talent that would support that.
No, but I have a baseball bat.
So you're okay, you're sneaking up on him.
Poor Dave with his brittle bone disease.
Right.
He's gonna get hit with a baseball bat.
I mean, he's like 75 years old. He's like a
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
All right. So
Is he even awake?
yeah, he's shuffling around because he sleeps all day. It's too hot.
Yeah.
So he just
Matt didn't establish whether or not he was friendly, and I think he's a dick. So there we go.
You think everyone's a dick? You're an outsider.
Playing my character. What do you want? Well, that's a bunch of sixes there.
Jesus. Okay.
That's
What my character would do?
that's.
I want to
three
knock him out,
sixes.
and I decapitated him with a baseball bat.
Well,
That's
this is
three sixes,
you're
a five, 2 3s, and 2 2s.
All right, you're able to sneak up on him and throw a bag over his head, and he just kind of, he struggles as much as an old, barely alive. It's not a lot of struggle to him.
Does he let go of the walker? That's really the important thing.
Are you going to help Todd as you see him throw a bag over this old guy's head?
I'm used to this kind of work, so yeah, I'll help out.
All right. So what
Tie
do you
up
guys
his
gonna...
legs or something?
Yeah. I like to
Yeah.
point out that the criminal was not involved in the
So
the bagging
you guys
of
tie
the old
him up,
man.
and you guys deposit him into the little closet that you guys were in before, and close the door. And you guys make your way
Gotta cover the wet spot.
quietly to Larry's office.
Jizzed up closet.
And you guys don't turn on the black light. And
Look, this is where everybody in this place goes. You
right
know.
at the tension relief closet. You can tell it's getting late. For anyone who thought this, look, if you want to listen to a actually dramatic, go listen to the Finding Moms one. This is not going to be that. This is not going to keep that caliber. So you deposit him there, and you make your way to Larry's office, and you guys are coming right around the corner, and you see a shape in front of Larry's door. It spins around and looks at you, and it's Dr. McStuffins. Dun, dun, dun. And that's where we're going to end our first session tonight. Oh my gosh, I got through like a quarter of the page. I have 2 pages I thought I was going to get through tonight. And I got through a quarter of a page.
Well, you've got a whole week to write like 5 more pages.
Yeah,
Blame that on you. Blame that on your pee break, old man.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Welcome to the Electric State. I think we're moving along. We've
give my ear the serious plug.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to go check out a serious version of this, go check out Finding Moms, the Electric State podcast. It's really good, and it's much more serious, and they don't talk about self-relieving tension for the whole night.
Yeah, it's a podcast. You just look for the Electric State, and I think it'll show up.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, all right. Thank you, everybody. Nathan, I'm glad that you could jump on.
Yeah.
We will be back for episode number 2 next Tuesday.
Yep.
For folks who are interested, this Thursday, for the leftovers, we're going to be talking with, and I just don't have it on me right now because I have no memory.
Yeah, we've only been doing this for like how long?
I know. You'd think I'd be able to remember something. All right. So this Thursday, we are talking to Initiative Zero, and we're going to be discussing all kinds of cool Palladium Rift stuff. So I am looking forward to that, to geek out on Palladium Rifts. And then later this month, the following week, we're going to be special guest Mitch Wallace to talk about all kinds of new stuff for Cult Divinity Lost. And hopefully in March, we're going to be talking to Will NY4, who is a gentleman who has leveled up their age stat much more than us, who does the most amazing and complicated Starfield mod videos and role play out there. So we got in contact after some recent mods that I've done, and so we're going to have him on the show because it's kind of more than just video game. He does a sort of role playing aspect to it as well, which is cool. So thanks again, everybody. We will see you Thursday, and we will see you next Tuesday for the next episode of the Electric State. Bye.
I'm waving. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Let's all go relieve tension.